Live, yep, we're live. What's good, everypony? Red Chaos here, and with me is my co-host for the next few streams slash podcasts. Then my careful table co-host, Dream Tech,
Hey guys, how you doing?
and
Good to have you here.
yep. And today we are going to be talking about the best films we have seen so far over 2016 and 17. Dream, if you're not going first.
Yeah, some of the best films I've seen. I'm kind of running off the top of my head because I didn't actually make a proper list. Um, and it is 4 a.m. over here right now, so yeah, give me a break. Um, some of the best films I've seen, I could start with the actual pony film, but I'm not actually going to go into that too much because I know some people still haven't seen that, so we kind of want to keep spoilers out of it for now. But I did get 2 free tickets to that a while ago, so I went and saw that. Pretty cool. Pretty good opportunity because me and my mate were the only ones in that cinema at the time. So we got to talk and do whatever we wanted. So that was pretty cool. Some of the other things I've seen were pretty good. Did enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy #2, even though I didn't really watch it properly because I watched that out bush on a DVD that we found, and I was kind of out of it at the time, but still a really good film. Really did enjoy seeing them return after the original Guardians. And yeah, that would probably be my two top ones from the last couple of years. What about you, Chaos? What did you want to start with on your list?
Oh, for me, I think I would start off with Hitman Agent 47.
Yep.
Yeah, out of the blue, I'm saying it right now. Agent 47, Hitman Agent 47. What a. I loved it, alright? Playing a Hitman games, since playing Hitman Evolution on my 360, I grew to appreciate 47 and what it means to be a hitman. So being a gamer and all, this movie was awesome for me. Come on, you get to see him in his do what he does best, and I love that. Even though the story was okay, and even though the story was okay, but the action was just perfect. That's the way I like it. Gun violence, actual violence, and the brutality of the film. It was awesome, and it was a 15. Hey, besides, I was 20. I was coming to be 21 soon. So I went to see it on my. I was going to be 20 soon. So you know what? I decided to go and see it before my 20th birthday. So for me, it was kind of special in a way. It was kind of like an early birthday treat to myself. Kong Skull Island. Hmm, man, what a monster film. It was okay. Well, we've seen Kong and everything. That was all right. But what got to me, and I don't normally say, and I said it on my spoiler review, which if you want to go and check out, guys, please feel free to. Was the after credit scene with Godzilla in it? That was awesome for me because I was on my seat when I for the after credit scene. I was sitting through the whole after credit scene until I hear Godzilla's roar. Then I know I was satisfied.
Yeah, it is a pretty good raw, that one.
Hmm. True, and I was. So I was satisfied when I heard the roar. And well, then yeah, I was satisfied. 'Cause as soon as I heard the roar, that's it. I was satisfied. I was like, "Yep, I am ready for Godzilla, King of Monsters in 2019."
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Ooh, and okay. I was gonna say Wonder Woman, but I didn't say when. And this is when Wonder Woman was a really good DC movie. Honest to God, it was better than Green Lantern was in 2011. And yeah, I did watch that as well. That was a pile of shit. No jokes, it was a pile of shit. But
You didn't like it that much?
nope, I hated it. Hey, but at least I got to learn more about the Green Lantern Corps and everything, so that was alright. That was the only thing that was okay with it. It was like learning more about the Green Lantern Corps. That was it. The
Learning
rest of
about
it,
a different superhero.
yeah, the rest of it was just shit. Well, back to the reason why I like, but Wonder Woman though, my God, it was awesome. Every scene I've watched, it was awesome. We've gone for the 21st century. We've gone from modern day, present time, back to World War One, and learn about the Greek mythology and learn about Greek mythology. And it was really good. I did enjoy it because you know because as a non-biased DC and Marvel fan, so I'm in the non-biased territory. I don't care which side I'm on, as long as as long as long as the story's good, I'm invested in. All right.
Mm, yeah.
So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say. Wonder Woman was a really had good story, good action, and a really killer soundtrack. Seriously,
Yeah, soundtracks really make a pretty big difference in movies.
yeah. Like I said, it what got me was was remember when her first appearance in Batman v Superman, which I'll be talking about in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she was with you, made a remastered return in the film. In the film itself, oh my word, it was epic. Hearing that tune again, that was awesome. Wonder Woman was one of my best ones I've seen so far from a DC movie, and I'm looking forward to watching Justice League when me and my dad get it on a USB stick and watching it. Like I want to get the MLP movie on my USB stick and stick onto my TV and watch it on there.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to Justice League as well. Should
Yeah,
be pretty
cause
sweet.
yeah, cause yeah. Well, until I say Justice League's gonna be on the list, but I'm not gonna say when until I've watched it
Mm.
fully. At the moment, I've been watching clips and that's it. So right, next film, right, next film on my list, I've got to say is Captain America: Civil War. As I just said, as like I said, I was rooting for Team Iron Man at the time because you know billionaire and their toys.
I kind of sided with Team Captain America on that one. I kind of decided on a side. At first, I didn't really have an opinion on it, but then me and my mates kind of just decided to take sides on the Civil War, so to say. And yeah, it actually did make the movie more interesting when you actually started siding with people.
Yeah, so like I said, it was a good. Like I said, that was a good film in it itself. And I was just happy that my team actually won the actual first fight scene in the film.
Mm.
Which made me happy because I was like, yes, Team Iron Man wins. Got made me happy, so I was like, you know what? I was happy when I watched it. I was happy when I was coming out. So overall, for me, Civil War earned my Marvel expectations.
I did like how they kind of brought in a whole bunch of side superheroes. Like they brought Ant Man back in, and they actually got to see Spider Man for a bit there.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm going to say now, Spider-Man: Homecoming is on the list because I went to see it,
Yeah,
and that was bloody fun to watch. Because seriously, I'm not normally the one for Spider-Man movies normally because I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, as most of you will not probably won't find out until today. Yeah, I was not a Spider-Man fan at all. I'm a more Deadpool fan, as probably I was going to say, because Deadpool is on my number one on the list, which I'll explain reasons why later. That's okay with you, Dream.
yep, that's fine.
So for now, Spider-Man: Homecoming, straight after Civil War, straight after Captain America: Civil War, we got Iron Man, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Ooh, okay. The Vulture. Well, normally I don't normally root for Spider-Man villains at all because, well, I've read some of the comics already, and no, I kind of know who the Vulture is anyway because not by reading the comics, but also watching the '90s animated series as a kid. So I kind of knew who the Vulture was. So I knew he was going to be in the movie, making his cinematic debut. So I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, it is
Another,
interesting when you've read the comics and something, and then yeah, they bring up a character from the comics.
yeah, but yeah, yeah, but me being me, I was actually kind of picky about this because, right, one, I was okay with Spider-Man's new appearance in the film because it looked awesome, and plus they picked that kind of looked for the new PS4 game, which is currently out at the moment or in development for next year. So that's why I had to put two Marvel movies together, linked together. But I think the only reason why went to see it was because of Iron Man making his appearance in the film. I think that was the only reason why I went to see it. Really, was because
Right.
of Iron Man.
Yeah, I've done that before with
So
movies, just gone for a specific actor or something like that.
yeah, but I went in for the Pacific superhero.
Yeah.
Right. I should be taking it in turns. So right, Dream, your turn again.
Yeah, so one of the other movies that I saw quite recently was the new Transformers: The Last Night. I did really
Oh,
enjoy the
don't you
movie.
spoil it! Don't you spoil it!
Oh,
I really
have
wanted
you
to
not
watch
seen
that.
that one yet?
No,
You're not
don't
seen that
spoil it, please.
now. Now I'm not going to spoil it, but I will say that I was a little disappointed with the movie. Overall, it's a great movie, but I did get quite excited and then let down at the very end of the movie. There is a scene where they're up on something high and they're all putting parachutes on, and I was getting really pumped up for a decent parachuting scene because, as some people may know, I do quite a lot of parachuting. That's kind of my job. So I was getting really excited to actually go and see a decent parachute or under parachute, like under canopy scene. And then it just showed them all jumping off, and then you didn't get to see any of that, and they cut away to the main story. So I was a little bummed out at that. But overall, it was an absolutely amazing film. I really did like how, as they always do, they kind of intertwine the storyline with a bit of history to kind of validate it. So they did that again, as they usually do with the Transformers movie, and they did that quite well once again. So overall, it was a pretty amazing movie.
I would agree there, but I watched the ending seeing so many times of clip of the ending, which is possibly the only bit of the movie I kind of wanted to watch. I could watch over and over again if I wanted to. Honestly, though, because I like it because it was like my favorite character, Optimus Prime, as Pat Rex knows. I can actually kind of do the voice of him. Autobots, roll out, kind of
Yeah,
like
it's pretty
that.
good.
Yeah, yeah. I have listened to Peter Cunning's. I kind of have been listening to Peter Cunningham for a long time, so you kind of pick up Optimus Prime's voice straight away.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think my
iconic in
favorite
those
scene,
movies.
yeah, but I think reason why I was going to say I was going to say the complete opposite. I was going to say the last one before the last night. I was going to say in 2014, Age of Extinction was my favorite so far. In 2014, I went to see it alone. It was just me, none of my friends. I went to see it on my own. It was very special as well because I wanted this was my first proper time seeing a Transformers movie in the cinemas and in 3D.
Oh yeah, 3D always makes it better.
Yeah, so I went to watch it in 3D. I liked it, by the way. I went home satisfied, done a review of it, spoiling the whole fucking movie. Whoops. But what do you expect? I was so happy and excited after the movie. I wanted I recorded a review straight after that, spoiling the movie. Come on, what do you expect? I was a Transformers fan. No one else was gonna. Besides, my favorite fight slash fatality was always going to be the lockdown Optimus Prime fight. That was a
Mm.
good fight.
Yeah, it was. It's sometimes pretty hard to hold back spoilers, especially when you're not really sure if other people have seen the movie. But I really did like all the Transformers movies. I've really enjoyed, and they're pretty good at continuing on building that storyline as they go.
Yeah, exactly. But my mate Pat Rex hates me for liking the Bayformers for some reason.
Right.
So what? I like Bayformers. So what? So what?
Yeah.
I saw the
People.
1980 original G1 movie first before the Bayformers.
Yeah. Well, different people have different tastes, and
That's
some
saying,
people just get way too worked up over it.
yeah, sorry, it's just, you know, yeah, sorry, it's just me being a hell. I've seen it since I was a kid. I've watched, I watched the Transformers franchise since I was a kid. So Transformers was always the first fandom I look up to before being a brony.
Yeah, I used to.
So
I
that's
grew
why
up
I
on
have a special place
Transformers
in
as
my
well.
yeah. So that's why it's very special in our hearts.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I do like how they're kind of bringing back characters into the modern movies that we used to see in the old comics and cartoons and stuff like that. And when you do go watch Transformers: The Last Night, you will see um, if you've seen certain one of the old Transformers, you will recognize some characters.
Well, mate, and two of the normal fan favorites, mate, still in the film. Obviously, being Optimus Prime and Bumblebee,
Yeah.
who, by the way, is getting his own spin-off. Bumblebee, anyway.
Yeah, they kind of focus on him quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's gonna. So I am kind of looking forward to Bumblebee as well because it's gonna be my first ever Transformers anthology movie. I want to see. Right. So wait, is it still your turn?
No, I think I'm done with my turn. You can go with the next one if you like.
All right. So next one for me is Jurassic World. Or have I already done that?
No, I don't think you did. I think we talked about it beforehand, but yeah, I can go for that one next.
Yeah, Jurassic World. Well, what can I say? It was a really good dinosaur film. Being a learning about prehistory since I was wanted to learn about prehistory for a long time. I've known about dinosaurs for a long time. So seeing a dinosaur movie like Jurassic Park, the first one back in the 90s, was special because it was done by director Steven Spielberg.
Hmm.
Oh, guess what? He came back to do Jurassic World, but this time the music wasn't done by John Williams.
Yeah.
It was done by this Michael guy. But he done a good job though, because like I said, I'm gonna say now, the ninth the ninth hour survival is my favorite. Is my favorite one in the Jurassic World soundtrack because it had the Rexy's heroic theme at the end, with her final roar, which when I came out to the cinema after the movie, I cried. Honestly, that was the first time I actually cried in over a year since my granddad passed away in 2012. So God bless his soul. So if anyone understands why I've done done a memorial to my granddad on my channel, then you understand why I said that. Because my granddad died in 2012 from throat cancer. So Jurassic World did make me cry at the end. As I said, I went home. I was crying until I went home, stopped crying, and then the next day in college, my mate Callum went up to me and asked me how the movie was. I said it was really good, which it was, and I told him I cried at the end because he saw me cry at the end. He saw me cry at the end after going out to cinema. He saw me cry. That's because it impacted me so much after watching the first three Jurassic Park movies. It was nice going back to the Jurassic series one more time. Okay, Dream, it's your turn now.
Righto. Um, I'm just trying to think now of what else I have seen. Um, I don't really get to see a lot of movies because I used to work up north, out bush, and we wouldn't really get anything new. Do see a lot of old other movies, but kind of struggle to keep up with the modern scene with movies. Um, I'm just thinking, one of my, well, I know we're going to go into this further on, but Batman versus Superman obviously was a pretty great movie from DC this year, or was it last year? Can't remember. Don't care.
Last year.
Um, Last year, yeah. And I did really enjoy that one. I think I just saw it on DVD when I found it at my mate's house. Just watched that one by myself. A pretty good storyline to it, and I did enjoy
That
actually
sounded
seeing.
confusing at first because I went to see it in the cinemas, so for me it was quite confusing.
Yeah, that it did have a few different changes in the like power structures of what was going on. Where initially it was just Batman and Superman going at it and trying to kill each other pretty much, and then kind of having a common foe to fight against, and then actually becoming allies against that common foe. It was interesting seeing all those different power switches as to what was actually going on.
Yeah, and as I
With
said earlier, and this is where I can come in now, say, 'cause after seeing Wonder Woman, this is where it ties into Wonder Woman, who made her first appearance in the film, and that's when Batman and Superman asked, "Is she you?" Superman asks Batman, "Is she you?" Batman just simply replies, "I thought she was with you."
Yeah, that was a pretty funny scene where they kind of didn't know who had brought her along. She kind of just jumped into it by herself, and she when she didn't even have to come and help, she kind of just did it.
Yeah, I I did enjoy Batman v Superman as well, not just because of the well, I found the story confusing, but I found the fight scenes really, really good. Well, mainly between Batman and Supes himself. That was a good fight because at the end, if you were if you were here in England in the cinema next to me, you would hear me shout, "Finish him!" from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because I am a bit of a Mortal Kombat. I am obsessed with Mortal Kombat.
yeah. I remember playing that as a kid on had the old Xbox original. I think we've still got that old console. It still works. Might have to pull that out of the old box sometime and give it a couple rounds of Mortal Kombat. I reckon that'd be pretty fun.
Hmm. I have a 360 version, Mortal Kombat. No, I have Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat 10 XL edition, which means I've got all the characters.
Oh yeah, so you got pretty much got everyone there now.
Yeah, so it is really good to see that. Okay, so my turn. Not the start both Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and Rogue One.
I
I
I did I did see Rogue One. I watched Rogue One a couple times properly. The Force Awakens, I kind of like once again. I just watched it kind of on the side, but I still got kind of the storyline. I did enjoy Rogue One a few times. Though. It was a pretty good film.
yeah, but I think it is my turn now, isn't it? So that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying it. Star Wars.
it is your turn. Yes.
As a fellow Star Wars fan myself, I let's cover Rogue One while we're talking about it. Then I can cover Episode 7 on its own. Rogue One is possibly my favorite Star Wars anthology movie because it was during the events of after the events of Revenge of the Sith into New Hope, and I was happy to see Darth Vader come back. Yeah, that's right. I always root for the villains. I don't know why, but I always root for the villains in the Star Wars movies. I root for the villains.
Yeah, I find myself doing that sometimes as well.
Nah,
Can
but
be
I do it
fun to
all.
do that.
Nah, but I do it all the time. I've been doing it since Episode One, The Phantom Menace, with Darth Maul.
You're a
So
bit of
I
the
have,
dark side fan, are you?
yeah, of course I have. Hence why I got the red. Hence my OC has red eyes
Right.
because it shows I like it. Because my OC represents the my white mane and my white fur color and everything represents what I was in my past. The blue thing that what I'm wearing represents the football team I support here in England,
Yeah.
the mighty Chelsea FC. Come on, Chelsea. The brown cape. Well, I just thought I'll just wear it because, you know, capes.
Yeah.
But my mane and tail style looks awesome. Just focus on the eyes. Red eyes.
Yeah, I did
Does that
notice you
tell you
had red eyes,
something?
and I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, the red eyes syndicates that I was born of evil first.
Oh, right.
So basically, my tagline was originally "Born of evil, raised to do good, but raised for good." And yeah, and I have myself a girlfriend at the moment, which I am happy, which we are in a few days in right now. So, romance writer, if you're watching, I love you, honey. Sorry, just gotta get it out there.
Yeah. Gotta make sure you put a shout out there to the missus.
Yeah, have to, haven't I? Because I I really do love her though, because she made me happy. Well, she does make me happy, even in my darkest times. I've had my exes, who I was never happy with in the first place. They let me down. No joke.
Hmm. Oh, it's always
All of
good to
them,
have someone there.
yeah, someone who doesn't use me.
Yeah.
Besides, I'm also a voice actor for her. I'm also voice acting for her currently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the Cortland Chronicles. I'm the voice of a character named Derek. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, basically, I'm a 10. Basically, I'm voice acting a 10-year-old.
How's that
Basically,
working out?
oh, really well by the look of it, because I'm going to be making a cameo in episode 4 of my girlfriend's or audio drama series. So yes, I
Hmm.
cannot wait for that. Right, back to Star Wars Rogue One. Right, I think my favorite in Rogue One was possibly the ending. I'm sorry, but the end scene was just awesome. I was happy to watch that. I was just happy, just bear with me for a minute. Just bear with me for a minute. I sat in the cinema, like, waiting, like, what the fuck's going on? Because I was like, watching the rebels getting the Death Star plans and everything, from after Jonas and that broadcast it and the rebels got it. But ooh, I think it was my favorite bit. It was the hallway was dark and ominous. No one could see a thing. All they hear was footsteps and a creak of metal. The next thing you know, you hear a and the lightsaber lights up,
Yeah.
and there stands Darth Vader, ready to kill the rebels. And I was really happy when I watched that. I was like, oh, yes, Vader's back.
Pretty good reveal of the main villain.
Yeah, yeah. Who was my? Come on, oh, come on, Vader. Come on. After watching episode 3, I wanted to know what was going on before episode 4, and I got my answer
Yeah.
in Rogue One. Now, Star Wars Episode 7, it was a follow up to the original trilogy, which we all probably know which ones they are right now. So, New
Mm-hmm.
Hope, New Hope, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
So this takes place after Return of the Jedi, and as we follow the new bad guy in the film, Kylo Ren in the First Order. When I first saw them, I was like, oh, here we go. The new bad guy just showing up. Trust me, trust me, being a fan of the bad guy, I just rolled with it. Like, I was happy to see Kylo Ren. Hell, I've even got his lightsaber.
That's pretty
No,
cool.
no joke. I have Kylo Ren's actual lightsaber from the film in my bedroom with me,
That's pretty sweet.
as well as as well as Batman's helmet as well from the film.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Talking about earlier. So, well, back to Kylo Ren. He is my favorite. Even though I was expecting him to kill Han Solo. I was expecting it because I wanted him to fully embrace the dark side, like Darth Vader did did before him in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting it, but my friends and that weren't. So to them, it was a complete surprise, and to me, my reaction was that was expected.
Yeah.
To me, I just shrugged it off, like saw it coming. I shrugged it off, like saw it coming. So the Han Solo fans, I'm sorry, but also Han Solo fans out there, I'm sorry, but I really did enjoy that scene. But my favorite is always was the final battle between him and Ray.
Mm.
And I hope
Fun.
I hope that in episode 8, The Last Jedi, we get some closure into why Ray was force sensitive and why she's training with Luke to become a Jedi to stop Kylo.
Mm. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that they kind
So
of tie up a few loose ends in episode 8. Should be good to see him actually explain a few things.
yeah, so Dream, your turn.
So, one of the other movies that I saw, can't really remember how often ago. It was probably about 9 or 10 months ago that I saw, and I know it was a kids' movie. It was Finding Dory, but I really did enjoy Finding Dory. Some of you, I don't know if you've been going through my Twitter and stuff, you may actually know a bit of my background. I actually do suffer from amnesia, of retrograde and anterograde amnesia. Started about 5 years ago, when I woke up in hospital pretty much. So Finding Dory, they did the whole amnesia thing really, really well. They, I'm sure they must have looked into what amnesiacs experience and the way they think and the way they kind of displayed Dory's amnesia into the film was done really, really well. And it made me as an amnesiac actually I could relate to what Dory was going, no, yeah, what Dory was going through with that one, and kind of the confusion included with that whole amnesia. So personally, I think they really, really did that film excellently, especially with the whole. I call it a memory backup, but Dory being able to follow those shells. and kind of getting parts of memory back in little flashbacks, and then those flashbacks leading to further flashbacks, and kind of following the trail of breadcrumbs, so to speak, to actually find her parents was done really, really well. Now, it's still a good movie for kids and stuff, but I reckon I enjoyed it a little bit more than the average adult because I could actually relate to what was actually going on inside Dory's head. So that was one of my top movies that I've seen so far. And yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it again sometime.
Okay, next film for me, I had to go back to 2016 again because this one was another favorite of mine. And considering I went to see it with my friends, and this film actually caught me off guard, and I wasn't expecting this one. Wasn't expecting to enjoy this. And well, like I said, I was never a big fan of animated films much. But when if there was a good animated film that did come out, I actually went to see it. I think this one got my attention. Well, no. I think it was another live action movie I went to see, but I'm trying to remember which one it was. Oh, great. I don't think I have a lit. I don't think I went to see other movies in 2016. The rest of them were just rubbish films I went to see with my friends. Oh wait, Mad Max Fury Road. That's it. Yeah, yeah. Mad Max Fury Road next. Oh my word, that was a film. I've watched it, not knowing who I know who Mad Max was, and I knew straight away what I was getting myself into for this new movie because it was done by Tom Holland, who also being in who was also in The Dark Knight Rises, and a couple of stories involving in real life events like Legend and Hudson. So watching him be Mad Max, it was a breath of fresh air for me as a someone who don't normally watch Mad Max movies because I fully understand Mad Max. I had to watch the original series first, but except me being me, I skipped some of the movies, and watched Thunderdome first, which was stupid of me, but you'll get what. But I done it anyway, and it was okay. But watching Mad Max Fury Road, I finally saw the seriousness of Mad Max, and it was really good. And they actually got the bloody violence right. Understandably, if I me, understandably, because I'm playing Mortal Kombat as of late, been playing Mortal Kombat as of late, I was really happy seeing the actual violence in the film being kicked up a notch because it was based on post-apocalypse. Isn't that right, Dream?
Yeah, there's not really any ethic rules with post-apocalyptic, so they can kind of go into the violence a bit more. And yeah, I know some people don't really like violence in movies and they think it's unnecessary, but sometimes it does bring an element of realism into what you're actually watching, and it kind of helps kind of frame it a bit better. That it's makes it a bit more realistic with what you're watching. When there's not really much violence, or they kind of cut away from it or try to avoid it, it kind of takes away from the experience. So I agree. Really do like some of the violent scenes in Mad Max in general, but Mad Max Fury Road especially. So yeah, it was good to see that they got that one right.
Yeah, because like I said, when I watched Bronson, after watching Bronson this year from my dad, because it came out in 2009, but I watched it this year just to understand what was going on and and where the audio clip for "Shut the fuck up, you cunt" come from. Now I know where it came from. It came from that film.
Mm.
Yeah, so back to Mad Max Fury Road. I actually did enjoy the actual violence, both hand to hand and in gun violence. It was brilliant. And oh my word, the vehicles that was used in the film, that was also
Yes.
awesome.
Some of those rigs are pretty sweet.
Yeah, because well, us being guys, we do like our cars, don't we?
Yep, sure do.
So understandably, seeing the rides, it was really good. I was getting all giddy when I first seen the Mad Max's ride from what Mad Max was driving. Oh my word! It was a '69 Dodge. I think it was a Dodge RST, RT, a Dodge Charger RT. I think it was from the 1960s. Because, like I said, I like classic cars as well as modern day cars. So seeing Mad Max's ride made me feel really happy when I I've actually what I've even enjoyed I enjoyed all of the film. I enjoyed every minute of it. So Mad Max Fury Road gets a thumbs up from me, and another reason why it made the list. Dream, your
Mm.
turn.
Um, so what I'm going to go on to next is a Marvel movie, and I know that this one kind of confused a few people. It was a bit of a side story to the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe story, but it was Doctor Strange. Kind of went into a
Ooh, hello.
went
I
it went
actually
into
went to
a
see that.
yeah. You went and saw that in cinemas.
Yeah, I did actually. It was really good considering
Did you
I'm
did you see
not
it in
a
three
science
D?
person, but as soon as they brought magic into it, I was like, yes,
Mm,
there's the Doctor Strange we know and love. Come on.
yeah. So I went and saw it in 3D, and that was probably one of the best Marvel films to go see in 3D. And I know some people got quite
Well,
nauseous with it.
thankfully I
With
haven't seen 2D, but I still enjoyed it because, come on, you get to see him use the iconic Eye of Agamotto.
yeah,
How can I not say that?
yeah. One of my favorite parts of that movie was seeing it in 3D and seeing some of the crazy dimensions that they went into. Kind of reminded me of Inception, where they've got weird gravity changes and things all over the place. And I really enjoyed that. Kind of makes you a bit dizzy sometimes. And also the introduction of a bit of magic and other kind of realms into the actual universe was pretty sweet to see. Um, Especially the ending. The ending was pretty amazing. How he kind of trapped the villain into kind of surrendering, which was pretty sweet in the end there.
Mhm. But I think we've both got to agree, though, Ready for Fall of Ragnarok, which is out right now. The after credit scene where Thor comes to see Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange offers him tea, but Thor being Thor, he'll probably want beer instead. So he had
Yeah.
beer, bottomless of beer, and he came to talk to him about the Infinity Stones and the what was to come, the Infinity Wars, which is coming out part one, which will be coming out soon.
Hmm.
So I think my reason for seeing Doctor Strange was because my mate Daniel actually told me about it, and I wanted to see it anyway because being a non-biased Marvel and DC fan, I wanted to see it because I wanted to know more about Doctor Strange and the backstory behind Doctor Strange and how he came to be the, the Sorcerer Supreme we know today.
Yeah, I did really enjoy seeing him go through the whole um, training process of becoming a sorcerer and some of the limitations that he went through with that one. I especially enjoyed the scene where they kind of just threw him on top of Everest and said, "Well, figure it out or die," and kind of forced him to figure it out, which was pretty good. The way I saw it.
Hmm. Okay, next film. I I was I had to agree with Doctor Strange there because that made the list anyway. So right, next film for me. Man, it was so hard because best movies we've seen so far. Some of them were from 2014. Some of
Mm,
them. So for me, it's hard because there's some of them from 2014 I enjoyed as well. That had my attention, caught my attention back then. But I remember seeing quickly. I just got to reminisce about 2014 quickly. I remember going to the cinemas to see Godzilla 2014 for the first time in Godzilla's 60 year, but on his 60th birthday, if you remember that.
yeah, I do remember that.
So I went to see it on his 60th birthday, and the birthday boy, or monster in this case, looked really, really good in the film. And hearing his roar for the first time in the airport roar scene with with the male Muto, that was awesome. He actually felt the power of Godzilla and this one's going to be capable of once he got into the fight with the Mutos later on in the film. You knew this was the Godzilla we know and love, and better than
Yeah.
that 1998 version, which I still fucking hate to this day.
Yeah, when they get movies wrong, they get them wrong properly. They just completely destroy them usually.
Mm. But 2014, Warner Bros. And Legendary version of Godzilla, which now has a MonsterVerse, thanks to Kong joining the fray in this year's 2017 Kong Skyland, which like I said, I went to see. So okay, so back to the films from this year. Last year, this is another one from last year. I remember seeing, and I really enjoyed it because I went to see it with my friend. Like I said, this one was I'm trying to remember the title of it, but I know it was really good. I went to see it. Oh wait, yeah, Fast and Furious 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to see Fast 7 with it was me, my friend Daniel, and my brother Liam. So, yo, Liam, bro, if you're watching, Fast 7 made the list. So, and I was waiting to talk about the film, so I was gonna wait for to say when. I was waiting for when and where to talk about this film, but now's a good time to talk about it. Fast and Furious 7, oh my word, it was brilliant. Every last bit of it was brilliant. And you got to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus my mum's my mum, my mum's favorite actor, Jason Statham, as we all know from The Expendables, The Transporter, other films that he's been in.
He's done some pretty good ones.
Yeah, but seeing him in Fast and Furious for the first time, it actually kind of blew my mind because after seeing what he did to the guy guy who we know in Tokyo Drift. So, Liam, if you understand what I'm saying right now, you'll know what I'm saying here. That scene when he goes, Dominic Toretto, you may not know me, but you will now.
Mm.
Yeah. So that was one of that a couple of scenes that stood out to me. That one and the final battle being hit between Jason Statham and Dominic Jason Statham's character and Dominic Toretto by Van Diesel, who we all know is Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I am Groot. Yeah, I did. I don't mean intentionally to do it like that, but it was just a cheeky little nod to how much I like Ben Diesel's adaptation of Groot because I've watched Guardians of the Galaxy myself, the first one, but I've never watched the second one because, unlike you, I never actually saw Guardians the L2 because I didn't have the time and money to see it like I did
I've,
with
I've
Last Night.
I've hardly really even watched it myself. I can't really talk about it as much. I remember like the first 3 minutes and then a few little segments of it because I didn't really watch it properly. I was pretty much out of it for the whole thing, so I've still got to go back and watch it properly again.
But I think I did enjoy. But overall, I did enjoy Fast Seven. Overall, I did enjoy it.
It's always good to see a bunch of cars going fast. That's makes a pretty good movie.
Hey, Dream, you're next.
Um, so one of the other films that I saw while I was living out bush, can't remember if someone managed to download it from a satellite dish or if they actually drove the 200 k's into town to pick it up on a USB. Um, but one of my favorite movies that I did see was Hacksaw Ridge. Did you see that one?
What's that?
Hacksaw Ridge.
Actually,
It was it was it was a war film um, based around DOS, Private DOS, who saved a whole bunch of people from Hacksaw Ridge. I did really enjoy that one, and they did it really, really well the way that they actually portrayed it, and kind of still making it into a bit of a documentary to give it that element of realism, where they actually interviewed the original Private DOS on his story on what he did over in 1945, I think it was. And
45.
yeah,
Wait, that was when Godzilla Raids Again came out.
yeah, quite a while ago. But
I think,
I remember the
so I did
soundtrack.
do my Godzilla movie research. So I think what you were saying actually did happen with Godzilla Raids Again when Anguirus made its first appearance.
Mm,
Carry on, sorry.
yeah, no probs. I've really enjoyed the soundtrack to that one. They did a good job of it. And I wouldn't mind actually going and downloading that now. One of the part of the storyline was where Doss kind of almost killed his brother to start off with, drew a rifle. I can't remember if it was a rifle or a sidearm, but he drew some kind of firearm on him. And seeing that anger inside him and that he could have almost killed his brother that day. That then went on to him swearing to not touch any weapon. Was pretty interesting to see the way he'd done that, kind of protecting himself from that rage that could have killed his brother. And that was his way of managing that and kind of making sure that he never really kills anyone again. And
That's,
that kind of struck with me. I could relate to that a bit. So I did really enjoy that.
except the weapons part, because except the weapons part, because I haven't seen the movie at all that you were talking about. and from a other person's point of view.
Mm. But yeah, just wanted to touch on that for a little bit. Did you have another one that you wanted to move on to, Chaos?
Let me think. 'Cause I have so many in this list of mine, so it's hard for me to pick one than you. So, oh man, Ooh.
Did you want to talk about Deadpool?
Oh yeah, Deadpool. 'Cause okay, I could just go straight to the top of the list now because I've covered most of the movies I went to see this year and last year. So okay, Deadpool. This is the one the proper movie I went proper. This is this was during Valentine's Day or Single Awareness Month, as you know, because I was single back then. So when I went to see this, I went to see it with my mate Daniel as friends, because
Mm.
I was single, because we were both single, looking for a girlfriend, and I went to see this alone. I went to see Deadpool with Daniel, and I really enjoyed it every minute of it, and I love the fourth wall breaks, the wisecracks, and the Deadpool we all know and love in the comics. That was my favorite version. That was the best film I've seen so far in 2016/17 is Deadpool, and hands down, I will never forget my experience watching Deadpool. Hell, I can even do a quote from it.
Go on.
Wait, you may be wondering why the red suit. Well, so bad guys can't see me bleed. This guy's got an idea. He wore the brown pants.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Let's
That was
calm
funny.
down. Let's
Yeah,
calm down.
and that's what I loved about that. Just the humor and the wit from that movie, in a whole, was pretty awesome. It kind of just made the whole thing. That and the actual violence side of it, seeing a bit of extra. I think it was R-rated down here in Oz. But yeah, actually having an R-rated Marvel film was quite interesting. Even though they did kind of cut back on some of the fight scenes by, you may have noticed he left all of his weapons in his taxi both times. That was to kind of save budget on the film so that they didn't have to do a massive fight scene, but they still made it work. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, but I think one of my favorite ones was when he was insulting Colossus. That was funny as hell.
Mm.
Yeah. Hey, let's pretend what considering my name is Ryan, and Ryan Reynolds is the one that plays Deadpool. I can't remember who plays Colossus though. So just for this, I think usually the guy that plays. I'm pretend you're Colossus and I'm Deadpool. You big dog cock gobbler.
I don't know the next line to that. Oops.
Yeah, ego. Yeah, I think what it is, it's just. I think what it is just. I love the swearing in it. It was the swearing. I love the swearing as well. That was just perfect. That's the way I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's all supposed to be. Hey,
Yeah.
I've read the Deadpool I've read most of the Deadpool comics from. I've read one Deadpool comic already. Deadpool: Last Days of Magic, #1. So it was really good to know that now watching now after watching Deadpool, I really did enjoy myself. So that's pretty much my list to that was pretty much my list to 2016/17 so far for me.
Yeah. Kind of struggling to think of anything else on the top of my head. So kind of what I did, I just Googled what movies actually got released in 2016/17 and just looking at the ones I have seen. There was Suicide Squad. Did you see that one?
Yeah, Suicide Squad. Actually, we could. we could both talk about that in a minute if you want.
Yeah,
As,
wouldn't mind talking on that.
what other movie came out in 1617 that we should be aware of, that we should talk about for now, since we've done our personal ones. So let's cover the ones we haven't talked about yet.
Trying to think of what there was. Uh, did you see Blade Runner?
Blade Runner.
I didn't.
No,
I missed
I
that one.
didn't. No, I missed it
Oh,
too.
what about Logan? Did you see Logan?
No, I didn't actually. Sadly.
Yeah, I quite liked that one. Kind of seeing um, Wolverine again. That was quite interesting, and kind of seeing a bit of a backstory as well to it. I liked that one.
Well, this was basically based in the old Logan universe. Basically,
Mm,
you can tell you can tell because I know it's from all different Marvel. You can probably tell I know that.
yeah,
So it's from the all different Marvel. So the storyline for this one is the Marvel universe was during the Secret Wars, during the Secret Wars movie, during the Secret Wars event that was going on in Marvel at the time in 2016. I would know because I actually got the free comic book day issue of it.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's why I know about it. Um, right. What other films were there? 'Cause I know Star Wars Episode 8's not out till December 14th. I know that. So we can hold off on Star Wars for a while. Um, you know what, screw it. Let's just talk about Suicide Squad because that's like the
Yeah,
only other movie. Okay, you first, because co-host before host.
yeah. So I did enjoy Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about it. One of the things that I I did kind of have a little bit of mixed feeling on was new characters. But as you know, when an actor dies, you kind of have to bring in a new actor or kill the character off. So having a new actor in the role of the Joker was interesting, although he didn't get much screen time. Not sure if that was just because that's the way they wanted to run it, or they were kind of just putting it out there to see how people reacted to it. But seeing someone new in that role was kind of interesting. Someone's kind of different spiel on the character was pretty cool. And seeing a whole bunch of other,
You mean Jay Leno,
yeah,
his Joker? Oh man, me being comic book accurate, I actually enjoyed Jay Leno's version of the Joker personally because even though I'm a '90s boy and I'm a Hamill boy I'm a Hamill Joker all the way because I played the Arkham video games too.
mm,
So I'm loyal to the Arkham games, and I'm loyal to the Arkham verse of Batman. So I think Jay Leno represented that version of Joker, plus plus the animated series Joker, also done by Mark Hamill, but added this unique little twist to it, which I was okay with, as long as long because he stayed true to the animated Joker that I kind of know and loved from Mark Hamill.
mm, yeah. I did like seeing someone new in the role, um, but as always with change, some people resist it, some people embrace it, and then some people are kind of in the middle about it. I wasn't really sure what to think of it, um, uh, but some of the other characters in that film, I'd quite honestly hadn't seen before. So seeing a few new, well, not really sure what to call them heroes. They're more anti-heroes, like Deadpool is. Um, but seeing them
Well,
in that movie was interesting.
Deadpool is actually a mercenary.
Oh yeah.
Technically, it's technically a mercenary. So I think anti-heroes you're referring to is Deadshot. Ones you're referring to are Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and possibly a few other bad guys I will not mention
Mm.
for the sake of this.
There was a couple mercenaries in Suicide Squad as well. I remember Slipknot. He was a mercenary in that one. It was interesting. As I said, I hadn't actually seen a lot of those characters, so bringing them all in
Yeah,
was
but I think
good.
we should
Good to see.
cover a certain female character in the room.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn, portrayed by Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Even
Was
though,
interesting.
even though I kind of enjoyed her version of Harley Quinn, you can't beat Tara Strong's version. I'm sorry, but Tara Strong actually does it better.
Mm.
Hell, she even done it to voice the live action version of Harley Quinn in freaking Arrow. What does that tell ya?
Yeah.
Hmm?
It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, considering personally, I haven't watched Arrow since season one because where it all began yet. Because me rooting for non-superpowered superheroes like Iron Man from Marvel, Green Arrow, and Batman.
Yep.
So so personally, since I'd done archery before, so that's why I can relate to Green Arrow a bit, in
Yeah.
bit. But Batman, I personally relate to more because of his dark and brooding me. Because he's dark, he's brooding. He was actually in the film.
Yeah.
If you if you paid close attention to Joker and Harley's chase scene, Batman was in the film.
Yeah. I think I saw the Batmobile in that chase scene somewhere.
Yeah,
There was.
that was it. Yeah, that was Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman was in there. And the Flash, believe it or not, the
Yeah.
Flash was in there.
I remember him in there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where though.
Yeah,
I've kind of forgotten it now.
Captain Boomerang one. The one of me captures Captain Boomerang stealing from a jew from from a jeweler's.
Oh yeah.
That one, that scene. He just comes out of nowhere and says, and just when he comes out and just sees Captain Boomerang there and just gets him arrested.
Mm. Yeah.
See, this is
There
what
was
I
a
mean.
couple cameos in there.
Yeah, see, but the most obvious two being the Flash and Batman,
Yeah. Very obvious.
which was the very obvious ones, because the Flash was is everyone's favorite light-hearted speedster, as we all
Yeah.
know, and my personal favorite superhero, and the one who and my personal favorite one, Bats.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy he was in there because I was like, oh, thank goodness they have Batman in there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Batman was also there during the Deadshot scene as well. I remember that now. Yeah, Deadshot and Harley Quinn. The Bat got both of them.
Yes, I seem to recall that now.
Yes, Batman glides down for. So basically, Batman glides down from. I think he glides down from the rooftops, doesn't he? Because
Yeah,
that's what you expect from Batman in the film. He glides down from the rooftops, tries to reprehend Deadshot, but it doesn't work out. And just as Deadshot's about to do the kill shot on Batman, one thing you don't do,
mm.
but his daughter was there to stop him. So and then well, Deadshot being Deadshot, he got arrested in the end,
Yes,
and here's why we have the Suicide Squad today. Consists of Floyd Lawton, Harley Quinzel, Killer Croc. There we go, another Batman villain who miraculously joined the Suicide Squad.
yeah. They kind of brought him from a few different places to fill in the Suicide Squad team.
Yeah, but for me, it was kind of miraculous in a way because I'm not normally the one for having a Batman. I'm happy with Harley Quinn being in there. I understand that, but having Killer Croc, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, that's one thing you do not add is Killer Croc.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing him in there.
Yeah, it was interesting, but at the same time, it caught me off guard. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on,
Mm.
Killer Croc was in this. I was blown away by that. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
Like
I
I said,
can't
it blew me
remember
away. It kind of blew
what
me.
else kind of
Yeah,
blew
go
you
on.
away, did it? Yeah, I hadn't really seen Killer Croc um, anywhere
Uh,
beforehand, so he was kind of a new character for me. Um, it was interesting though.
well, for me, seeing him in the, seeing him, well, for me, seeing him, it was kind of expect. I was, I wasn't expecting him to be in there because I was like, due to my love for the Arkham games, I was hoping that he would fight Batman like he does in the Arkham games, and stay
Right.
accurate to the game itself. And the reasons why I liked the game was because of what Batman done and the battle and fight Killer Croc in the game. In in the game, you actually get to technically sit- technically put face off against Killer Croc in the game, which I have done, and it was I did enjoy it, but at the same time I was kind of nervous because I kind of I was kind of expecting. I kind of got a couple game over scenes from Killer Croc.
Right.
So yeah, I learned my lesson, and I finally beat his level to finally get to the Poison Ivy scene that I'm at right now. Poison
Hmm.
Ivy one I'm at right now, and that is a bitch to play.
I've never played that one, so I wouldn't know.
It's Arkham Asylum. You wouldn't get it.
Hmm.
Like I'm saying, it is a bitch to play.
Right.
It is a literal bitch. right now to do it on. So right now I'm very very stuck on it right now until I figure out how to beat the game. So I think overall we pretty much have now covered all the movies from 2016 and 2017.
Yeah, covered pretty much everything that I've seen, so I reckon we've covered it pretty thoroughly.
Yep. So okay, so this is the first time I'm actually gonna you actually get to hear my outro properly.
Righto,
Not
that
very
sounds good.
yeah. So this is the first time you get to hear it. Everyone else in the on my subscribers count knows this one, knows the drill.
Righto,
Okay,
I'm
guys.
curious to see this now.
Okay, guys. Okay, so this has been the Chaos Roundtable live. Next week we'll be having the very first. We'll be having our first two guests, Laserhawk and probably Mirror Marvel when if she's not busy. So thank you so much for watching this, guys. I've been Red Chaos.
And I've been Dream Tech.
Thank you for watching. Peace.